Pass the test, get the cert.
Good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, whatever time it is, where you're from. I hope you had a good day. I hope you had a great St. Patrick's Day. I did. This video is about the Part 17 test, federal drone test to get your license, your pilot's license for commercial piloting, so you can make money off of it. Maine, as a state, doesn't have any laws, state laws against drones or for drones. I shouldn't say against drones, but for drones. It, just don't, Maine is just like, don't be. This is the exact verbiage out of the regulation on drones, which corrects me. Like I said, I'm not an expert. So it says it's prohibited in state parks and historic sites, which if you go to the parks and sites, they have permits that you can get to fly a drone. So it's in Maine, it's kind of wishy-washy right now on drone laws. I normally will always go by what the regulation says. It's just easier. Like I said, I always try to go by the regulations verbatim, but sometimes how it's the verbiage is, it doesn't make any sense. In Maine, private property is a huge thing, pretty much like every other state. But train tracks, they're considered private property owned by the railroad company. I don't mess with them at all. People will walk on them. I stay away from them. They're private property. It's considered the railroad property from the center of the track to 10 to 20 feet away from the center of the track. And in general, I try to stay out of people's private property, off of people's property, because people like their privacy, and you don't want to bug people. So for state parks and historic sites, I've asked, and I've only been turned down once. So I've been to a couple state parks. I've been back to a state park once or twice, 3 times, I think. I've been back to Reed State Park. Every time I've gone, I've asked permission to either metal detect or use the drone. And I've only been turned down once and said no, and that was from, I think, one of the state parks, Camden State Park. But their only stipulation is that I don't harass people or, try to do it somewhere where people are not around. People are there to have a good time, not to be, not to have a drone, which I understand drone buzzing around them isn't cool. Got that. But the verbiage says no state parks or historic sites, but just ask. So this video is about taking the Part 107 test, which is the federal FAA test. It's the federal test to get the drone license. Why I want to take this test is by law to make money off of flying drones or any, like using it at a construction site. You need to have this certification. Pass the test, get the cert. And that's what this video is about. And that is, it's for me, I'm not even an amateur yet at drone stuff. I'm slowly learning. I'm learning how to fly drones. I want to get a bigger drone besides the pocket drone that I have. And I'd like eventually to make money off of flying drones. It's fun. But I've met some interesting people, and this is my video about taking the test, knowing where to take the test. This video is about information, at least in Maine, and maybe it'll help some other people who don't really know anything about drones to get more interested in drones and flying drones, because it's an amazing industry. It's an up-and-coming industry, at least in Maine. I know in other states it's prominent and there's people know about it, but in Maine, there's money to be made, and I'm more than welcome to take people's money legally. Before we start this video, I want to give a shout out to Operation ReBoot. They're rebooting their channel, but in my last couple of videos, it mentioned that they were having issues because of the coronavirus. Some of the sporting events that they had scheduled to go were canceled because of the coronavirus. No is an organization for disabled vets that takes them out in the woods, takes them hunting, gets them their hunting license, and gets them out in the woods. And how they make or earn their money for this operation is through merchandise, which they couldn't sell at these sporting events because they're canceled. So they're trying to find other ways to sell these merchandise. I'll put their PayPal account in the description, and a way to, so they can, if you want to buy their merchandise, it's there, the PayPal. Operation ReBoot, great organization, great people, has a great purpose. I don't normally push merchandise. I don't have merchandise, my own merchandise. So it's, it's for an important thing to me. It's very important. So getting vets out in to the main outdoors, getting them hunting, getting them outdoors. It's a great organization. If you like, go to their channel. It explains more in depth. It's just the Operation ReBoot, mainly to get out. So taking the test, taking part 107, which is the FAA test for drones, for getting your drone commercial license, getting your commercial license for drone. Like I said, in Maine, to accept any money for payment, you need to have this license. There's multiple different jobs in Maine and around just everywhere where you can make money off of flying a drone or having the skill to fly a drone or knowing how to fly a drone, which is awesome, which is cool. I'm new to the drone thing. It interests me. I love, taking apart drones, putting them back together. I'm interested. So I heard about ways to make money using your drone and found out about the test, that you have to take a test to get certified. And I was like, okay, I had the basic knowledge and an idea of what I wanted. I didn't know how to get it. So what I did is I looked online and I found a website, Maine Drone Society. And contacted them, sent them an email. I'm not going to mention his name or his email address in the in this video because I didn't get permission. But if you go to the website, you can contact them, email them, or the Maine Drone Society, and get more information about drones. Just so much information, just as much information as I wanted, this dude gave me. So what happened is I contacted him. He emailed me back within a day, I think I contacted him at night, and he emailed me back in the morning and asked if I wanted, a phone call or if we could do it online or through email. And I was like, either or, man, it's cool. I just wanted the information. And so not only did he email me back, but he called me and filled me in, answered all my questions, gave me all the information I needed. On drones in Maine, how to get my license, what I needed, what kind of tests. I told him, I straight out told him, I don't have a background in planes or aerospace or any of that. And I'm interested in this. Will that affect how I take the test or the knowledge that's on the test? And he said yes and no. I mean, you can study for the test and pass it. But what he said is that the most important part is, yes, you pass this test, but get stick time. There's some virtual, and I'll put that in there too. They have a virtual simulator app that you can use to get used to flying, using your phone to fly. Just get stick time, drive your drone or fly your drone, get out there and do this. Get out, get outside or in a building and fly. If it breaks, learn how to fix it. If it, you know, if you can't fix it, if it's broken, learn how to get cheap parts. Great information, a lot of information. He asked I asked him all, all the questions I could think of, and he answered them as best as he could. And I just want to thank him if he's watching this. Thank you very much. So that is the Maine Drone Society. Check their stuff out. It's even if you're not from Maine, they support or they promote drones in Maine, obviously, but for high school, they have high school programs for building or rebuilding, learning how to use drones. College, there's only one place in my area, and I'll show you there, that has a program for drones. Taking this test, it's a college course, and my school does not have this, so I'm gonna have to take it on my own, or I'm gonna take the test on my own. How I'm gonna take this test, or hopefully how I pass this test, this is my plan, is I will show you, I have an audio program. On Audible about, it goes through the rules, the regulations, and there's a test at the end of it. And hopefully, that test helps me out. I ordered a study on Amazon, and that's coming. I'm going to study because right now I have school courses, but they're online because of the virus. And then I have work where I can study too. So hopefully I will be prepared in a short while to take this test and see if I can make any money off it. That is my goal. Like, I want to get this test, pass the cert, and make some money. That's my whole goal. Have a side gig that's worth having a side gig. So yeah, that is my plan. We'll see how it goes. Mainly dig out.